Good evening, folks. I'm Councilwoman Joanne Ryan, calling the Committee on Finance public hearing to order. It is Thursday, May 26, 2022. It is just past 5:30. Madam Clerk, could you read the roll? Okay, well, can we acknowledge the members that are here? We have members of the committee, Vice Chair Carmen Castillo, Councilman Senior Majority Leader, Councilman Narducci. We have Councilman Vargas, who is always with us in the Finance Committee, and we appreciate your attendance. Have Ken Cheverini from the City Solicitor's Office. That is the crew. Oh, we also have Councilwoman Helen Anthony, who just walked in. Okay, with that, do we have anyone signed up to speak? Okay. So what I would like to do is actually zoom in on the city solicitor. Thank you, Solicitor Cheverini. So let's start. Be with us? So basically, we are going to begin with Solicitor Jeff Dana.
Jeff, can you turn your audio off?
Can you hear him? Can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
So perfect, and we can hear you. So we would like to begin this public hearing by asking you the question, is this public hearing legally held and in conformance with the budgeting process?
Yes, it is the law department's belief that it is.
Okay, no other comments for the record?
Not at this time, no.
Okay, awesome. Thank you very much. We will continue. Thank you very much, Madam Clerk.
Thank you, Jeff.
And for the record, that was Jeff Dana, City Solicitor. And let's pull the sheets. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to sign up to speak before this honorable body this evening? If you haven't already signed up, please do so. I'm going to ask the gentleman to bring the sheets to the dais here. Who has signed up to speak? Thank you very much. Okay, let us call the first named person, Sarah Silveria, 25 Doran Street. I believe she is the Director of Finance Department for the City of Providence.
Thank
Madam
you.
Director, you have the mic.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the committee. I'm here to speak on behalf of the fiscal 23 proposed budget. The fiscal 23 proposed budget is a balanced budget that includes investments in city infrastructure, public safety, and improving the quality of life for every resident and business. The proposed budget as presented builds on the good work done over the past 7 years and increases investments in Providence's neighbors and neighborhoods. Thank all of you for your hard work and long nights with us as we present our budget to the committee, and thank you for your time.
That is all. Thank you very much. Is there anyone else that would like to speak on this topic? Is there anyone else who has signed up to speak on this topic? Is there anyone else, excuse me, is there anyone else that would like to speak up on the topic? Please sign in. If you'd like to speak, please sign up and we'll hear your testimony. Sergeant, could you please bring the sheet? Sergeant, could you please bring the sheet to the table? Excuse me? Okay, let's call Grant Delgarian.
Button in the middle, okay. Evening, Grant Bulgarian. I I had the opportunity to speak to this committee a year ago when it was a virtual hearing. And at the time, I talked about some specific line items in the budget and said that come the fall, after the spring, after the summer vacation, I'd like to speak to the committee about a line item that doesn't exist as a separate item in the budget, but that actually, excuse me, impacts every line item in the budget. Never got the invitation, so here I am a year later. I will now talk about this, and it's more imminent than it was last year. And that is the Narragansett Bay Commission. They took over our sewer treatment plant at Fields Point back in the 80s, early 80s. And by that time, Congress had already passed the Clean Water Act back in the 70s, where we wanted to make urban rivers fishable and swimmable. Very laudable, notable, and that's what we want to do. Now, we have, as you know, enough capacity in the Fields Point sewage treatment plant to treat all the sewage we'll ever send it. Providence could be a city of 250,000 again, like it was over World War II, no problem. It's only when it rains a lot in a short period of time, we overwhelm the system. So you would think the simple, straightforward solution would be to deflect, diminish, delay, divert as much of the rainwater as possible, wait for the storm to pass, and you're good to go. No, that's not Narragansett Bay Commission's solution. Their solution is to collect all the rainwater that falls on this portion of God's green earth, store all this rainwater, send all this rainwater to the sewage treatment plant, treat all this rainwater, and at what cost? Narragansett Bay Commission doesn't care. Why? Because they bill us all for it. The scientists at the Brown University Center for Environmental Studies thought the Narragansett Bay Commission solution was a waste of money. Narragansett Bay Commission did it anyway. What did they do? They built a tunnel from the sewage treatment plant north under the Providence River, took a dogleg to the west under the Woonasquatucket River, 3 miles long tunnel. Guess how much that tunnel cost? Most folks guess between $50–60 million, and they're low. And then they say $100 million, and they're still low. $250 million for a tunnel that collects mostly rainwater. When I say mostly, I asked Narragansett Bay Commission, all right, what are you guys, how much, what are you collecting? How much are you collecting? They said 85% rainwater, 15% sewage. We built the tunnel 10 years ago. Narragansett Bay Commission has decided that was such a brilliant idea. They want to build a second tunnel under the Pawtucket River from Bullock's Point sewage treatment plant in Rumford, north on the Pawtucket River. This one's only going to be 2 2/10 miles long, but it's been 10 years, so we got a little inflation. Guess how much that tunnel is projected to cost? People guess 250, 300 million? Low. $500 million. And nobody is saying to the Narragansett Bay Commission, you need to look at alternatives and combinations of alternatives. Narragansett Bay Commission says, oh, we did an EA, an environmental assessment, and that's good enough. We can just slide by with that. This is, in Narragansett Bay Commission's own words, the largest public works project in the history of the state of Rhode Island. Actually, tunnel number 1 was. And now they're saying tunnel number 2 will be, which means they will have the 2 largest public works projects in the history of the state of Rhode Island. And at the very least, you would think they would do an EIS, an environmental impact statement, which does look at alternatives and combinations of alternatives. Narragansett Bay Commission refuses to do that. Why? Because they say we don't have to. Another overused term is best practices. When the Clean Water Act was passed half a century ago now, how many municipalities in the United States had combined sewer systems? Because that was state of the art 100 years ago. Oh, hundreds. So an EIS would look at what other municipalities have done over the years, the decades, to see what worked, what didn't work, what's cost effective, what makes sense. Narragansett Bay Commission refuses to do that. Who was the largest ratepayer in Narragansett Bay Commission sewers district? Is it Rhode Island Hospital with all the water they use? Nope. Is it Brown University with all the dorms that they have? Nope. City of Providence. It is incumbent upon the city council to say to the state legislators, because Narragansett Bay Commission is a creature of the state legislature. To say to the legislators, when they, in the process of their passing the state budget this coming month, that they include a statement saying that Narragansett Bay Commission shall spend no more money on this tunnel until an environmental impact statement is done. Not done by them. We want an independent environmental impact statement. Lots of entities could do this. Sierra Club could do it. EDF, Environmental Defense Fund, could do it. NRDC, National Resource Defense Council, could do it. Union of Concerned Scientists can do it. They're just up the road in Cambridge. A number of entities could do this. That's what needs to be done so that we know we're doing the most intelligent, scientifically based decision. So that's what I request of the Finance Committee of the City Council to do. And I'll be happy to answer any questions. And I thank you very much for your time.
Excuse me, thank you very much. Okay, next up, we have Helen Anthony. Could you please identify yourself for the record and your address, provide your address for the record as well, please?
My name is Helen Anthony. I am a city councilwoman and I reside at 654 Angel Street, Providence, Rhode Island, 02906.
Okay,
I just,
thank you.
may I proceed?
Yes, please.
Yes, I would just like to say to our committee, I think in particular this year, any increase in our budget has to be scrutinized. As you know, our residents are facing citywide, are going to face an increase in their taxes due to the huge increase in the valuations. So my feeling is if we're able to hold the budget and not increase it significantly, that we may be able to propose a lower tax rate for our residents citywide. So I say this because I feel this year in particular that I feel like our budget process is being a little rushed. We have a lot of things going on right now. Tonight, we've got a meeting on the pension obligation bond. We have a number of things going on, and I just wish that we could slow the process just a bit. I specifically would ask that we let the public have another opportunity once we have come to the end of our deliberations and we know what we want to do with the budget. If we can allow, I know we're doing what we're required by law, but I would like to go on record and request that we be able to have another public meeting at a later time where we can propose when we have made a decision as to what we were going to propose and allow the public to speak. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We have another person who has requested to speak, Oscar Vargas. For the record, these folks that are members of the city council have an opportunity to participate in discussion at our finance meetings. It's unusual that they're speaking now, but I'm going to allow testimony. And they need to let the record reflect that they're testifying as private citizens. Mr. Vargas, please identify yourself and your address for the record, please.
My name is Oscar Vargas. I am a city council for Ward 15. My address is 150 Dora Street, Providence, Rhode Island, 02909. Thank you, members of the committee. This budget is out of control. The administration lowered the taxes 18.50 cents per thousand. But the value that they took value-based supply and demand. We didn't have no supplies and was a lot of demand. So that means everything goes high. Everything gets very expensive. It's like on the business or dealers. A used car costs more than a new car now because there's no new cars because they don't have a ship. So will be great if we can do this hearing a later time, 6:30, 7 o'clock, and promote this hearing through radio, internet, then the people will have the time to come in because now the custodians are driving back from their work. Maybe they're picking up the kids at school and they don't have the time to come and testify that the harbor high property taxes that they will pay in the next year. And I don't understand how come another cities, they postpone the evaluation for next year. It's something that we should look at, how we can postpone this to do it in another time, not at this time, because everybody's coming out of COVID and still we have COVID. And not everything are working. And now if you can see around, the government's not helping nobody. You don't see not even people passing food around anymore. So I feel sorry for my constituent that this budget is not a good budget to pass it on, even if the administration is lowering the taxes, it's not low enough to cover the high that they will get. They're looking for a magic number, but the magic number is going to affect every single citizens in this beautiful city we have. Thank you very much.
Okay. Anyone else in the room would like to speak on this matter? Anyone else in the room like to speak on this matter? Anyone else in the room like to speak on this matter? Hearing none, I think that we will close the public hearing for finance with that. Thank you very much for your attendance.